Hey, it's Bryce here from Sisters Doll, and this is Ozzy.
From Sisters Doll, obviously, as well.
And yeah, we're here to talk to Criss from Heavy about our new album Scars coming out on the 24th of January.
Beautiful, guys. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks
Thanks
for
for
having
having
us.
us.
No worries. You might have to check that because I've got it written down the 25th, but you guys would probably know better than I would, wouldn't you?
Oh, the gig. Yeah, so we got the
Yeah,
album
true.
comes out on the 24th, and then the gig is on the
25th.
25th. Yeah, so the
Oh,
launch.
well, now we've corrected my fuck up initially. You released the third album, Scars, on January the 25th, 24th, which isn't too far away, guys. Like, how are you feeling about it?
We feel good. We've been
It's good.
rehearsing like really hard for it, and we've got some cool things lined up for the actual whole show and for the whole event. So we've been going hard. Just in our home studio here, we've been going to a separate rehearsal space too to rehearse and just sort of get a lot of the show down pat and just everything tight and really
Mm.
yeah, we're working hard, especially these we're playing songs we've never played before live. Obviously, like we're pretty much playing the whole album. From the new album is we're playing the whole lot of it. So
Yeah, we've
it's
been recording this album since I think it was like straight out of like when COVID lockdown stopped. We locked away with Ricky Ray in the studio, and so it's been a long, yeah, it's been a
yeah,
long process to actually get
yeah,
the album out, and we can't wait for yeah everyone to finally hear it
yeah.
when it comes
And it's
out.
like we're finally playing these songs and it's like, wow, I finally get to play these new ones. But like these songs are already like
Yeah, they already feel old.
they already feel old because we recorded it like a few years ago now, a couple of years ago now. So but
That,
no,
that,
it's sounding great and we're excited.
that'd be the hard part because you guys have been playing these for so long. And when you're playing it to your new audiences, they're fresh to them and they're exciting. And I suppose
Yeah.
you'd feed off that and it'd make them fresh and exciting again for you, wouldn't they?
Yeah, definitely, because
Yeah,
we're gonna get some reactions to the songs we haven't really experienced before,
at
like
all. Yeah.
Ah,
we yeah, it's good.
let's dive into Scars a bit deeper, mate, from a musical point of view, and tell us what you were going for with it.
It was kind of like
Yeah.
there wasn't really like a theme we were going for or anything. Like we sort of how it started is we just sort of knuckled. We were like, we got to do another album because we hadn't done one for 5 years. The last album we brought out was All Dolled Up, and that
Yeah.
was even longer years ago now. How long? It was like
Yeah.
2017 we released that one.
2017, it still felt like we're in that, like that, even though that's what we grew up with and what we love, that glam rock realm. I don't know, it felt like it was time for our like to finally,
Yeah,
I don't know, instead of like, and even some people would say like, oh, you're trying to do the 80s thing, you're trying to do the glam thing, but I feel like this is actually Sisters Doll, this album. This is like our sound. It
yeah.
feels original in some way, like
Yeah,
it's
and like we had to, it was time to do another album because the past albums that nothing wrong with them, they're great, but we were still so young back then too. So
and young.
a lot of the
Yeah.
writing and stuff was you can hear the youth in it all and everything. So it was just time to. We had a lot of material lined up, and we've always been sort of writing together and things like that. And then during COVID, the time came, and we were just like because we were stuck at home, we were living together at the time. We really knuckled down and demoed up a bunch of songs and working with Ricky Ray and things like that. And he, the past albums, it was always like, we got like 10 songs, like 10 originals written, and like, let's go record them. Like, not much road testing to them and things like that. But this one was
Yeah.
like, we really want to,
Really dived into each song when it comes
yeah,
to like even a guitar part or a drum part
yeah,
or even a vocal part. We really like dissected the songs to
yeah,
like,
yeah. In this studio here, we just like
yeah.
knuckled down, really work on the structures and things like that. And then when we got in the studio, with Ricky's input as well, every song just sort of with the ones we decided to choose for the album, each song just grew even more and they just built and it's sort of we feel like we picked the right ones for it and
Yeah.
it's
We're
something
older,
yeah.
we're older now and we're like
Mm.
more mature. And I think you can tell like when people hear it, the new stuff, and even from the new singles that we've released, I think people can already see like, fuck, we've stepped up a cog this
Yeah,
time.
definitely.
Yeah.
And I think that's important too. Like your first two albums were called Welcome to Dollhouse and All Dolled Up, but
Yeah.
there's no
Yeah.
name that this one Scars, which is tougher. It's got more
Yeah.
grit. Was that deliberate to sort of get away from that
Yeah,
box?
In a way, yeah,
a
I
little
think,
bit
yeah.
because and the we were gonna like the title track of the album is Climbing Out of Hell and that was almost going to be
Title of the
the
album.
title of the album, but then we kind of like we realized like each song sort of represents like a scar of something we've been through, and what we've
Mm.
come out of. So and then the last track of the song is called Scars. So we're kind of like, I think it should be called Scars, because each song is sort of representing a scar of something we've been through.
And it's an intriguing title, and like and it is the last song on the album, and we'll toss it up. We'll like, but if we called it Climbing Out of Hell, it's kind of, we feel like we're stuck in that all dolled up, climbing out of hell, like kind of
that 80s vein and things like that, which obviously we love that stuff, but
we really wanted to make a statement. I think with the title, it was like, nah, and it makes people go, oh shit, this is pretty like direct.
It makes people curious. It's a bit deep and
want to listen to it.
But you had to have Doll in there somewhere because you got a song called Baby Doll. So you had
to happen.
We can't veer away too much. That's actually an old song that we rehashed. From like even like before the first album, I think we were mucking around with that song.
Yeah, definitely second album, that song was around. But it was just it never got around to we never really worked much on it. But rehashed it for this album and it's turned into something pretty heavy. So
it could have been another one. I mean, it could be a single bouncing off the album when it comes out. Who knows? Yeah.
At least you didn't call the album Baby Doll.
Yeah.
The album starts with a complete curveball, guys. Right? There's an instrumental track called Purgatory it's a beautifully haunting flamenco style guitar solo. It could have come straight out of a Quentin Tarantino movie, mate. Like, what's the thought?
I like that.
Great.
That's sick.
Really effective.
Yeah, cool.
No, that's awesome. Thanks. It's that's all Aussie.
Yeah.
His flavor on that.
There's something me and Brennan worked on like years ago. Like we had, again, Climbing Out of Hell was a song we wrote a long time ago, and we always had the idea of that song, and it was always there, and that intro for it was something me and Brendan sort of worked on together. But then the flamenco style stuff was something I just heard, and I was like, over the years I've progressed on guitar, and I love that sort of flamenco style, and not that I'm any good at it. I tried my best to sort of replicate it, but it definitely fit the theme for that song. So I think that it's a cool intro to introduce the album.
Yeah.
Well, I'll put it in perspective, guys. Like, I listen to a lot of albums, and a lot of bands try different things like that at the start just for something different. And the only other band I've ever heard nail it quite like that is Bullet for My Valentine on The Poison. And then they're nice. Other than that, man, like it's really well done, guys. It sort of throws you off at the start. You don't know where the fuck it's going to go from there.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's good to hear. That's great.
Yeah, and so everything about Scars is massive, guys. Like, there's more guitars than ever before. There's more atmospherics. There's more balls on the floor rock. Like, was that a focus going into it that you wanted everything to be bigger?
Yeah, definitely. Because when we've recorded in the past, like, nothing against our other producers and things like that, I still feel like we're still pretty green when it comes to like the producing type of, like going into record an album type of thing. So when we went in with Ricky, it was really like, no, we gotta emulate like how we sound live, like, so I'm a pretty hard hitting drummer live, and we'd hear it from the fans too, and they'd be like, oh, you sound like nothing like you do on the records, like you do live, like it's actually, you sound better live. And I know a lot of bands get that as well, but we wanted to capture our sound best we could.
We experimented a lot too, because the part of especially the second album, we went with like, again, we're in that vein of the whole glam and 80s metals and things like that. So I think the drums were like, the majority of them were triggered and things like that, weren't they?
Like we triggered a lot of stuff, and like it
just one of those big cannon drums and things like that. And again, like Bryce said, we were quite green to it all and didn't realize what a sound you can get just out of raw drums. Like, and again, it's just been this album's just a big step up quality wise as well, because All Dot Up was recorded in 2017, or was released in 2017. That's almost 10 years ago, nearly
10 years,
8 years ago, whatever it is.
And even when we listen back to like Black Mirror, which we recorded in 2019, like right before the world turned to shit, that was like, even then, like the production on that, I still feel like we were missing the mark with our sound, and like
still finding ourselves, I think.
Like
definitely this album, we've definitely found our sound, I think.
100%. And as you said, Chris, we definitely went for that big, like, because we have a big sound, especially now with Sage in the band. Like, we have a live bass, and it's full. We've been rehearsing, and it's been sounding, it's big. Like, it sounds big.
I might be wrong in saying this, but to me, it seems like you've paid extra attention to the intros and the outros to the songs. Like, they're very epic. Nothing goes bat and finishes. Like, there's lead in and a lead out to most of the songs, and it adds to the atmospheric quality a bit. Was that the focus?
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
Definitely.
that wasn't like nothing. That wasn't really intentional or anything, but it was. I think
Kind of
just
just happened. Hey?
as we've grown as just personally and just as musicians, there's our tastes have maybe changed a bit. Just the four of us are inspired by all music, and
Yeah.
And it just sort of comes through. Nothing was really intentional. It's just whatever we felt in the studio at the time or whenever we wrote it. That it's just what come through us at the time.
And that's what I love about like everything about Sisters Doll. And when we've started, like everything since day one has been us, like literally just us, me, Brendan, and Austin in the studio, and now Sage, and and then our producers there, like steering the ship. Like it's everything we do, and it's not most stuff. Yeah, really isn't intentional. It kind of just happens in what we're feeling, and
it's all pretty natural.
And you guys, I've known you guys for 1 or 2 years now, and you've always sort of listened to too. Like someone gives you a bit of advice, you take it, or you listen to them. You don't tell them to fuck off straight away. And I think that's a quality a lot of bands could possess. Like there are dickheads out there, of course, but you've got to listen and you've got to learn and you've got to grow. And it's
for sure,
definitely,
because without listening to again, there are some just dicks out there. Some harsh people out there, but you do have to listen though, because it does, it helps you grow.
It does.
How do you go playing the newer songs alongside the older ones? Because they're not greatly different, but like I said, the newer ones have got that more dynamic, atmospheric feel about them. Like, do you have to regulate your set list, I guess, so they flow? Like, is it much different?
Yeah, we kind of went through that process, building the set list, and we had to rework a couple of things to kind of tie them all together and see which songs fit next to certain songs and that kind of thing.
It's also just there's a lot of crowd favorites from our past albums and things like that. So there's songs that they kind of have to be in the set, and we enjoy playing them too.
Yeah,
because again, like the production on our past albums were a little bit different to they're not how we sound live, I think. So when we do play them live, there's a heaviness to it. And now this latest album is a bit more darker and heavier, and it sort of fits the set list sort of flows well because we play things heavier and harder live, and it's a lot louder, and it flows nice.
Yeah.
So it's working out well.
Now there's probably some fans of your older material listening to this going, fuck, I'm not going to like this new stuff. It sounds like they've grown up too much, but
I think so. Yeah.
Up in there for the older fans, and the older fans would have grown up with you, or the younger fans would have grown up with you anyway, so they'd sort of be on that journey with you.
Yeah. But again, the latest album is it is just, you can hear the growth in it and things like that, and we have grown a lot as musicians and stuff, but there's that essence of Sisters Doll is there, and I'm sure you heard it too. There's just there's just maturity in the writing, I think, is kind of what's changed. But still the same passion is there as our past albums.
100%. The same bit of tongue in cheek fun is in a couple of songs too. There's literally a track on there, I think, for everyone. You could kind of put on one and be like, fuck, they went pretty heavy, but then you could put on another song First Time Say and be like, whoa, it's a bit more mellow, and that could even be, I don't know what even genre you'd call that.
And so we always want the album to be just something you can put it in the car. You can, put the CD on in the car. You can just take a drive, and you can listen to it from top to bottom. It takes you on a bit of a journey. It sort of tells a story in a way.
It's funny you mentioned the First Time song. Actually, that's probably the first ballad I've listened to from start to finish in about 10 years. I normally skip. That's actually not a bad one.
Cheers, thanks, Chris.
That's cool. That was going to be a single, I think.
Yeah.
A lot of songs, I think, when they hear that,
when
they hear the album, I think they're going to go, shit, that could have been a single too. It was hard.
Yeah,
because
we really picked the best out of all the songs we had at the time, all the demos. So, a lot. I think there's even some songs that I think should have been singles instead of what we chose,
that too.
Each song's strong,
I was listening and thinking another 2 or 3 singles on this album, at least.
Yeah,
definitely.
That's cool. That's good to hear.
No, thanks. That's cool.
No worries, guys. Now, we spoke a bit about this before, but you're officially launching Scars at Max Watts in Melbourne on January 25th, which is going to be a massive night. But what do you got planned? I know you guys aren't just going to sit there and stand on stage and go, what do you got?
We're going to go big. It's for what we can do in the venue. that venue didn't allow, like, so we still have the flame machines. Do you remember those, Criss, from back in? We used to take them everywhere, like flame machine. We're not allowed flames and stuff. But like pyrotechnics, as far as like CO2 cannons and shit like that, we got a lot of that jam packed. The drum solo is a big part of the show, which like is a bit of a mechanical nightmare to put together, and
it's worth it when it works.
When it works, it's worth it. So
but the show is going to be it's the same mindset we've always had, like in no matter what size venue we're playing. It's like we put on like an arena stadium show in a little in a club or a bar, you know. It's that same mindset, and we got that, you know, even without the effects and everything, there's still that high energy that goes throughout the whole show. Like we love it. We just enjoy it. So.
Yeah, there's a giant LED screen in the and it's in like the heart of the city too. Yeah. So that's like, sometimes you hear people like in Melbourne, especially in the early days when we're playing, they're like, "Oh, you got to play in the city, like play in the, you know, in Central." And I mean, we booked a pretty big venue like for us, so we're right in there. It's going to be good.
Well, and you got 4 other bands playing with you, or 3?
Three other bands.
Yeah. Yep. We got Wicked Things, who are from Sydney, and then we got Atomic Riot, who are a Melbourne band. They've been going for many years now. We've known them for a long time. And then Cassidy Paris is also doing really well now too, overseas and things like that. So it's a good lineup.
Oh, where can people get tickets from? Because this is going to be a show that in 10 years' time, people are going to say, "Fuck, I wish I was there."
100%. They're going to see footage and everything. They're going to go, man, like, it's Oztix through Oztix. Yep. And it's at sistersdollband.com if you want to head to our website, and then all the stuff is there all over socials. We've been pumping it. Everywhere. So it's
Cool. And from there, you're off to the US in March to play on the Monsters of Rock cruise with bands like Tesla. There's Michael Schenker, Crocus, Extreme Winger, even a little Aussie band called Rose Tattoo are going to be there, guys. Like,
need
a tour manager or a babysitter?
We'll go catch up with Angry, and no, that'll be cool.
We're pumped for that one. That's like
it's
you know, we've, you know, the Monsters Rock Crew's been around for a long time, and we've always heard of it, and it's always been like, that's been like a dream sort of thing we'd love to be a part of. And and I guess it's just been the right time. They asked us, and of course we're going to do it. And again we're playing with idols of ours, like George Lynch is on there, like Extreme. I'm a huge Extreme fan, as people know. And we're pumped for that one. That's gonna
be huge.
We're excited.
Okay. And then you headed to the UK for the first time, guys, to play as part of the Call in the Wild festival. Like, good to see you finally getting a crack at the UK markets.
Yeah, you know,
that's been a long time coming.
We've been asked for years and told by so many people over the years, like, we've got to get to Europe. You know, that's the place to be. They, you know, especially for our genre and you know, that rock and metal and things, that they love it over there. Like, it's still, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a different world when we get there. It's gonna be like, well, they really love it here. Like, you know, we're probably gonna get the realization, like, well, I know we're gonna be like, why haven't we come here? Like,
that's that's exactly what we'll say. I can already feel it. And there's a heap of we've got that Call of the Wild festival, but we've just teed up or we've locked in a heap more like UK dates.
Yeah.
I don't know how we're going to survive it, because I'm looking at the dates going, fuck, do we even get time to like have a look around London, or like, but it's pretty bang.
Full steam ahead. Like, we got like, how many dates we got? We're supporting Kicking Valentina over there. Yes. Which are a great band. And it's going to be a killer time with those guys.
Mates at the Midnight Devils just did a run of shows with them, and they said they were fun and really fun to be.
Yeah, good to hear.
Awesome. I'm great as for that. That's
they're a great band, and we're keen for it. I mean, we don't really know what to expect. We don't know. We've never been there, so
it's a little scary, a little you know, but I think it'll be good.
Yeah, it's all right. You go all right. Now, before I let you go, guys, I got a new segment I've started called Photo Bomb, where basically I just try social media before I speak to you and pick out a couple of photos that I want to talk a bit more about. So I found this one. Like, isn't it? It's kind of cute.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
I feel like I could still see myself in like the eyes of baby one in the middle. That's me in the middle. That's you, awesome, down there.
Yeah, I'm on the left. That's that. You look, the passion's always been there, even as kids in diapers, you know.
I'm holding drumsticks. Brendan's got a guitar. So do you, Austin.
Yeah,
and we got wigs on too, by looks.
But that's why you look at a photo like that, and it's like, because people sort of ask like how did you start? Like, what made you do this? And it's like, photos like this, like, we love bands like Kiss growing up, and like they were just on our walls, and Dad would play old concerts of Kiss back in the day. And Kiss had that that movie they made called Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park, whatever. They've got like superpowers and things like that. Us watching that as kids was like, well, these guys are like our Batman, they're our Superman, they were like our heroes. And the fact that they're playing guitars, hence like, look, this little cardboard cutout guitar Brennan's got, that was something Dad made for him, I think.
I think it's the Ace. I think he did the Ace. It's the Ace really one.
But it's just been in us for years, since we were kids.
Your family's always been really supportive of it too, haven't they? Which helps.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, they love it.
Definitely. Yeah.
Very, very thankful in that regard.
Oh, but then you guys had to go and grow up. You got this.
Guess where that is, Chris?
That's in somewhere in LA, Whiskey or Viper.
The rain. That's at the Rainbow. That's the Guns N' Roses table, I think.
Yeah, that is that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was a while. I don't remember that one.
Looks like he's had a few drinks. Cool.
I don't even know who took that.
I don't remember that at all. I don't know. But...
That was before we played the Whiskey one of the nights, I think.
Yeah.
You were looking like that before you played.
I don't know how I held my sticks up. Shit.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for your time today. It's been a pleasure speaking. The album Scars is out January 24th. And like I was saying earlier, it's completely blew my socks off, guys, if I was wearing them. It's a really good album, and it's good to see how far you guys have come. So, like, I think I first met you when you still had your baby teeth, Ozzy. Like, you were that young.
I think,
It's humbling to sort of see how far you've come, guys. So, congratulations and
appreciate that.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it.